Sound design tutorials. Let's go.
Traptendo.
What is going on, guys? DJ Av here, and we're gonna start this sound designing tutorials off with synth basics and stuff. This is gonna be a new series, synth basics. When you see that, click on it if you're trying to learn like the basic stuff for a synthesizer. So we have Serum in front of us, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna treat it well and make sure that we have this in order. So I want to play this real quick. It's gonna be like future bass, of course. So already this is a solid lead as is, you know. If I was to play it a little simpler on the scale here. So the first thing that you want to know is that if you are to dial in some unison voices here, you'll get a different effect from that sound. So basically what you're doing is you're adding voices, just like what it is right here. And you can see it in plain as day. That's why I really like about Serum as well. With that, you can do a magnitude of things here. And I just want to play this real quick. Meet me in the trap. It's going down. Yeah, I never knew what that sound was when I was a kid, but now I do. Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, so adding in use of voices here does that. And if you was to go and do something like detune, you'll hear that it's not harmonically pleasant here. And maybe that's not something that you want to know, but that's what detuning means. It takes it out of tune, as you can see here. But you know, still enough though. If you use this to dial it back, you have that, and it comes in handy because if you had more voices or whatnot, it brings them closer to the inside, so you actually hear amount of thickness to your saw lead here that you're doing. So yeah, that's some pretty cool stuff that to know off top. And you know, there you have it right there. So again, right here is a sawtooth. This is how they look. If you see a sawtooth in any other VST right now that you're in, that's basically what it does. It pretty much functions the same way. Sometimes detune is named something else. Sometimes like pulse width. I know that. I think that's the name of it in ElectraX, but we'll talk about that when the time comes. So another thing that makes saw leads interesting is obviously the filter section. So now that I added that in there, what else can I make it? How can I make this saw lead interesting? So that's when you start taking advantage of your LFO section, and then you can just drag and drop an LFO into your cutoff here and listen to what happens. So now that we have that going on, there's other ways you can finesse that sound to make it sound different. One is to mess with the LFO speed or rate, for that matter, and it's right down here. So once you do that, so you know you can do that. And then there's other things too as well when it comes down to that particular sound. Of course, you can reduce the amount of the filter cutoff that you have here, the amount, so that it'll sound a little different too. So that is another thing you can do. Of course, you can reverse it so it goes out and in. As you can see, look, that's like basically 3 sounds right there that I covered, maybe 4, but I don't know. I lost count. Other things that you can do, of course, you know, you can add things like reverb. Reverb changes the atmosphere of the sound in general. You know, sometimes it actually adds presence to that sound. don't know why it stops the reverb and stuff like that. I really don't care. It actually sounds pretty cool. Another thing that you'll notice with this reverb, of course, and this kind of works. It works the same in any other VST synth that you have, as long as they have a low cut, high cut. Sometimes it's something weird and different, but that's why I like Serum and ElectraX and Tone2. But so if you add low cut, of course, the low cut, it affects how much of the harmonics that are going past. Granted that your notes that you're playing actually has lows in it, where it will have reverb in it. Of course, I'm gonna see if we can go a high cut. As you can see, if I dialed in more high cut, it takes away from the reverb here. So it's not really much lows that's gonna be any effect that's gonna have on a low cut as far as this melody goes. So I'm so high in the in the octave that I'm in. So I'm gonna lower the octave. Speaking of which, when you have like octaves and stuff like that, maybe sometimes in whatever DAW that you're in, sometimes in FL, you'll probably click on the little wrench thing and lower the octave lower the octave on the key right here. But you can lower the octaves within your oscillator here, and this is what this is anyways. And boy, I should have told you that a while ago, but this is how that works in that sense. So it just changed the octave. Now you can mess with the semitones and change how the pitch of that those keys are being played as well. Damn, that actually sounds much better. But anyways, you have that. One thing I want to note too, if you want to save something, you can just press the little disc right here and then save it. Of course, you want to probably save it in, well, this is in the presets user file here, and I got presets that I made in here from a while ago. But you also, if you want to start all over again from a fresh slate or a clean slate, you can just press initial preset and so, I mean, you can do other things too. I mean, there's no limits to there's no limitations or how a set way to do your saw leads. Because saw leads basically make up for a lot of EDM music anyways. So adding flanger. And you can, add an LFO to it if you want. It's all up to you of how you want to do it. So I'm gonna add that. So I mean, those are just different ways that you want to do it. I mean, maybe too late to say. You might want to rewind and go back if I overlooked it, because I'm going really fast here. Pluck sounds. Oh, no. That's another. I'll wait because we're doing lead sounds right now. So, yeah, that's basically about it there. That's saw leads in a nutshell. And there's other, again, you want to experiment with different filters. Maybe you might want to go with something a little exotic here and just see what comes from it. As you can see, to your heart's content with what you can do there. I will note this though, with your sub oscillator, it will thicken the sound of like your overall saw lead. Not many VSTs have those, but you know, this is just something that you might want to keep in mind when you're making a sound. Also, you know, of course, you're going to do some more extensive mixing, so you might want to do your bass separate. And the whole general purpose of having that sub oscillator, anyways, is to kind of is to make this digital synth here sound more like how analog is. Analog usually has that lower end girth in it that people like, so you know that's basically why that's there. But you know, that's saw leads in general there. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any requests, man, feel free, and I will go over it. I tend to go over plucks and of course pads and how to do arpeggiation in Serum as well, and of course many other VSTs. But in the comment section, just let me know, you know, just in case there's a VST that I might overlook, because I pretty much know how to work all of them there. So that's it there for the lesson, guys. That's Saw Leads. I'm DJ Ad McCree. Thank you, guys. That stamp gang.
Traptendo.